I've decided to do today, guys, is about torture, and it's the touchy subject of torture, no pun intended, well, pun intended, and I'll be talking about how I feel about it, which is, I don't think that it should be used as a means of accessing information against other individuals. I'll be going against the morals and ethics of it, the legality, is it legal in the USA and other countries, and how it affects you guys. So the first one I'll be going over is morals and ethics. The definition of torture, according to the Gale Virtual Reference Library, is violence inflicted upon another with the intention of making him suffer. And then my part is usually for information or numbers in some cases. According to a poll by the BBC network, 59% of people, and this was polled in 25 different countries, 59% of people said that torture should not be used, and 29 people said yes, torture should be used. So the point is, it's not a right thing to do. The techniques that torturers use is just techniques that most mothers and fathers would use against their children. And I mean that in an aspect is they don't know if you're getting verifiable information. They could just be saying stuff so they can stop inflicting the pain, but it's the same percentage as like flipping a coin toss. It's not reliable at all. With all of this, you'd be surprised with all the cases of how many people are getting tortured in the USA, you'd be surprised that it's actually illegal here. In the USA, it violates the Geneva Convention, the UN Convention Against Torture, and the Army Field Manual, and then a few other ones that I could not pronounce. I was really trying to pronounce. According to the American Progress Organization, 78% of Germans and 56% of British believe that we torture people too much. And I may just be throwing numbers at you, but the reason why this is such a significant piece of data is because we had the same poll in 1998, and it was 22% for Germans and 24% for Britons, and that was in 1998. So 1988 to 2006, we've jumped 20 points. So that shows we've been using excessive means of torture against others. And we get so mad about torture, and we have so many touchy subjects in our media that you wouldn't be surprised. It happens so often nowadays. Even Bush used torture as a means to try to get information after 9/11. And when he was asked about this, he was just like harsher. All he said was he used harsh interrogation methods. But we all know that it was torture. Now, and if this was any other American in another country, then the world would be going crazy about it. Now, the last point that I was talking about is how all this relates to you. Well, and truth, it probably doesn't even relate to you. It probably doesn't cross your mind. But the point it should is because we are seen as a cookie cutter country. We're considered a world superpower, and for a world superpower to go and harm other people. And I saw this great post on the internet. It's we kill people who kill people because killing people is wrong. We're the biggest hypocrites that there is when you think about it in that aspect. So how can it affect you? Well, if you traveling someplace else and you tell black people that you're American, I know in some places they'll try to take advantage if you do stereotypes. So it's just. And then all the facts about the data, you can just look at the facts and you can see that it's not acceptable to some people. So for my speech, torture, how I think it's wrong, how, one, it goes against a lot of people's morals and ethics, two, how it's illegal in the USA and what all the rules it breaks, and three, and how it should affect the US people. And the next time you see a torture scene on movies or video games, then just know that there's a lot more to it than just lights, camera, and action. Thank you.